My name is Dawn Disselkamp, and I'm a member of your Ollie Advisory Council. Pam is not here today, so she asked me to do the introduction for our St. Patrick's Day keynote. In case you're wondering, Disselkamp definitely is not Irish, but I have a great-grandmother who was a Keaney, so I think I can get in the club. It's my pleasure today to introduce Celtic Alchemy, an acoustic trio composed of Patty Myers, a bona fide Irishman, on lead vocals and guitar, David Sarkisian on guitar, mandolin, banjo, bass, and vocals, and Don Priest on assorted percussion and vocals. They've been performing their unique blend of traditional and contemporary Irish music, seasoned with a bit of blues, country, reggae, British rock, and their own versions of contemporary tunes to audiences in pubs, wineries, festivals, schools, and private events around the Valley and the Central Coast since 2021. Today, Celtic Alchemy will perform the tunes, tell their stories, and explain the social and historical significance of songs that address themes of religion, rebellion, love, war, and of course, whiskey and beer. They're all about fun because they're an Irish pub band after all, and that's what Irish pub bands are all about. So sing along, clap your hands, and get out of your seats and dance if you're so inclined. But most of all, have fun. So now please join me in welcoming Celtic Alchemy.
Thank you very much for having us here today. We're thrilled to be here, even if it doesn't show on our faces. The only thing we're missing is Guinness. We'll take care of that when we leave here. Probably a good idea we don't have Guinness right now, because then the show becomes more ribald and X-rated.
Or why?
All right, so we're going to get on with the show right now, starting off with a song called The Irish Rover. It's, as all Irish stories go, Irish storytellers are renowned for stretching the truth a little bit, exaggerating, and so this song, as it meanders down through the verses, you'll go, that's pretty improbable. That's absolutely impossible, but just bear with us. It's written by Irish people and they exaggerate a lot. This, for example, they're taking some bricks from Cork to New York to build the Grand Central Hall, which, why would you get a sailing ship in the 20s and put bricks on it and take it to America? I'm sure they have their own bricks over there. But there's an Irishman who was in this New York City Hall, and he wanted Irish bricks. So without further ado, we'll get on with this song, and if it sounds far-fetched, it is. In the year of our Lord 1806, we set sail from the Copkey of Cork. We were sailing away with a cargo of bricks for the Grand City Hall in New York. Was a elegant craft, she was rigged fore and aft. How the wild winds drove her, she had 23 masts, she drew several blasts. We called her the Irish Rover. There was Barney McGee from the banks of the Lee, Hogan from County Tyrone, Johnny McQuirk, who was scared stiff of work, your man from Westmeath called Malone. There was Slug the Road Tool, who was drunk as a rule, Fighting Bill Tracy from Dover, and your man Mick McGann from the banks of the Bann, with the skipper of the Irish Rover. 2, 3, 4. Had 1 million bags of Sligo's best rags, 2 million barrels of bones, 3 million size of old blind horse's hide. We had 4 million barrels of bones. We had 5 million dogs, we had 6 million hogs, we had 7 million barrels of porter, we had 8 million pails of old Granny Ghost tales in the whole of the Irish Rover. Old Mickey Coot, who played hard on his flute when the ladies lined up for a set. He was tootling with skill for each sparkling quadrille, though the dancers were flirted and bet. With his smart witty talk, he was cock of the walk as he rolled the dames under and over. They all knew at a glance when he took up his stance that he sailed on the Irish Rover. 2, 3, 4. Set sail 7 years when the measles broke out. Ship lost its way in the fog. The whole of the crew was reduced down to 2, just myself and the skipper's old dog. Well, the ship hit a rock, oh Lord, what a shock, and nearly tumbled over. And then she turned tight lines around, the poor old dog drowned on the last of the Irish Rover. I'm the last of the Irish Rover. Thank you. I told you it would be improbable. The next song is, it's not really an Irish song, but there's dead bodies in it, and we sing a lot of songs about dead bodies.
We like dead bodies.
It's called Rocks in the Box, and it's by a band called the Decemberists. The reason we like it is because we do a few of their songs, and they've got a very Irish feel to them. We don't have an accordion here today, but bear with us. So it's about a mining disaster, and you'll hear references to the head frames, creaks and moans. The head frame is the board that holds up the earth when they go into the mine. You're from earth to earth and dust to dust. You'll hear about when they get trapped underground and get killed, they will return to the earth. So it's a bit morbid, but try and grin and bear it. If I put a capo on, it might sound a little better too.
Hi.
That's Don Priest.
How y'all? You're in it for St. Patty's Day. Yeah? Got plans? Got to drink green beer? No?
Can you believe an Irish band has a priest in it? Unbelievable.
You're all forgiven.
We have to go to confession before we start.
But you don't want to know what they said.
If the rock's in the box, get the water right down to your socks. This bulkhead's built on fallen brethren bones. We all do what we can, we endure our fellow man, as we sing our songs to the head frame creaks and moans. And it's 1, 2, 3 on the wrong side of the lead. What were you meant for? What were you meant for? And it's 7, 8, 9, get your shuffle back in line. If you ever make it to 10, you won't make it again. If you ever make it to 10, you won't make it again. And you won't make a dime on that grey ground of mountain mine. Of dirt you made and the dirt you will return. So while we're living here, let's get this little one thing clear. There's plenty of men to die, you don't jump your turn. And it's 1, 2, 3 on the wrong side of the lead. What were you meant for? What were you meant for? And it's 7, 8, 9, get your shuffle back in line. If you ever make it to 10, you won't make it again. If you ever make it to 10, you won't make it again. And it's 1, 2, 3 on the wrong side of the leaf. What were you meant for? What were you meant for? And it's 7, 8, 9, you get your shuffle back in line. If you ever make it to 10, you won't make it again. If you ever make it to 10, you won't make it again. If you ever make it to 10, you won't make it again. Thank you. Next song, Foggy Dew. God, that tastes like vodka. Oh dear. Mike, what did you put in my bottle? Foggy Dew is it's a very relevant song in Ireland because as it meanders through the song, it weaves a lot of historical content of what's going on in Ireland. It was based around 1916, which was the big uprising, the War of Independence. And during the song, there's a lot of references to Pierce's, dying by Pierce's side, fought with cattle brew. Those were Irishmen that were very famous during the Irish Independence War, which started before 1916, but 1916 and Easter was that's when the uprising happened. And in the second verse, there's a mentioning to Britannia's Huns with their long-range guns. That's a reference to the Irish, believe it or not, teamed up with the Germans during the war, World War I, which was between 1914 and 1918, I believe. So this is happening in 1916. So the Germans obviously didn't like the English, and neither did the Irish. They hated the English. And so they had this deal that they bring some arms over by boat coming in through the River Liffey, which is a very famous river in Ireland. If you're ever in Dublin, you have to go onto the bridge over the River Liffey and spit into the river. It'll give you good luck. So you see a lot of people doing that. You go, God, that's disgusting. But it's supposed to give you good luck. I've done it. I don't know if I got good luck or not.
No.
That's open to debate.
Didn't work.
So the ship, somehow the intelligence got through to the English. They intercepted the boat, so the Irish did not get their guns. So they attacked the English anyway at the General Post Office in Dublin with pitchforks, basically. That's all they had. And they got overrun, all arrested. There were 16 signatories of the Proclamation of Independence were all rounded up and executed right after Easter. And so there's references to that. And there's other songs that we do that reference that as well. The 1916, these 16 men were very brave and, executed unnecessarily. And then the song goes on about the Easter uprising and the solemn bell that's ringing. So this song, culturally in Ireland, is very important because young kids listen to it, so that all the historical references gives them some bearing of why the Irish don't like the English. I mean, this is part of it. There's a lot more to the story than that. But so we'll try and have you make sense of this song as we meander through it. Sinead O'Connor has sung this song. The Dubliners have sung it. Paddy Riley is a very famous Irish singer who joined the Dubliners at a bar in New York. A lot of people have covered this song. 'Twas down the glen one Easter morn, to a city fair rode I. There armored lines of marching men in squadrons passed me by. No pipe did hum, no battle drum did sound its loud tattoo. But the Angelus bell o'er the Liffey swell rang out in the foggy dew. Right proudly high over Dublin town they hang out the flags of war. 'Twas better to die 'neath an Irish sky than in silver or soot elbar. And from the plains of the Royal Meath strong men came hurrying through. While Britannia's Huns with their long-range guns sailed in through the foggy dew. 'Twas England bade our wild geese go, the small nations might be free. But their lonely graves are by Silver's waves, or the shore of the great North Sea. Oh, had they died by Pierce's side, or fought with cattle brood, their names we would keep where the Fenians sleep, neath the shroud of the foggy dew. But the bravest fell, and the solemn bell rang mournfully and clear, for those who died that Easter tide in the springtime of the year. While the world did gaze in deep amaze of those fearless men but few, who bore the fight that freedom's light might shine through the foggy dew. Back through the glen I rode again, my heart with grief was sore, for I parted with those valiant men I never will see no more. And to and fro in my dreams I go, I'd kneel and I'd pray for you. Oh, slavery fled, ye rebel dead, when you fell 'neath the foggy dew. Oh, slavery fled, ye rebel dead, when you fell 'neath the foggy dew. Thank you. This song, everybody knows this song. Metallica's done it. Thin Lizzy's done it. We've done it. It's called Whiskey in the Jar. And the song revolves around it. Well, first of all, there's many different versions. So if I tell you this, you're going to say, wait a minute, that's not the version. But my version, anyway. And I'm telling the story, so sit there and listen. You too, Brad. My friend Brad's over there. He's critiquing the event. He's got his notepad out, and so just making sure he's behaving himself over there.
Well, his mom's with him, so he's
His mum's with him, so he has to.
be good. Yeah.
We actually, I'm glad Brad's here, because we don't normally do this song, but because he's here, we might do it in his honor. A Rodney Carrington song. It's called "Show Them to Me." Brad's loves to do that. I don't know why. His mum's going to kill me. So Whiskey in the Jar. It's about. It's sort of a latter-day Robin Hood. There's this, the English land barons, they took over a lot of Southern Ireland. So this guy was going around robbing these people. So he's highly thought of in Ireland because he was messing with the English. He was killing them and stealing their money. So he obviously meets a woman who betrays him, and then all hell breaks loose. And then that's how the song kind of ends up. And more dead bodies. Yes, let's take the capo off. Yeah. All right. As I was crossing over the Cork and Kerry mountain, chanced Captain Farrell as his money he was counting. First produced my pistol, and then produced my rapier, crying, stand and deliver, for I am the bold to save you, my sure ring and my doo-da-ba-da. Hey! Wait for your daddy-o, wait for your daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Counted out my money, it spelt a pretty penny, put it in my pocket and I took it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore she never would deceive me. Devil take that woman, cause you know she tricked me easy. Must sure ring and my doo-da-ba-da. Hey! Wait for your daddy-o, wait for your daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Hey, wait for your daddy-o, wait for your daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Early in the morning, just as I rose to travel, spied a band of footmen and likewise Captain Farrell. First produced my pistol, cause she'd stolen away me rapier. Couldn't shoot the water, so we're prisoner I was taking my shearing and my do my da. Hey, wait for you, daddy-o, wait for you, daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Anyone can help me, it's my brother in the army. If I can find his station in Cork or in Killarney, if he sets me free, we'll go roaming in Kilkenny. I'm sure he'll treat me better than my only sporting Jenny. Mushering and my do my da. Whoa, wait for you, daddy-o, wait for you, daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Mushering and my do my da. Wait for you, daddy-o, wait for you, daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Mushering and my do my da. Wait for you, daddy-o, wait for you, daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Some takes to the life in the hurling and the bowling. Others take the life in the carriages are rolling. I take the life in the juice of the barley. Corn pretty fair makes in the morning bright and early. Mushering and my do my da. Hey, wait for you, daddy-o, wait for you, daddy-o, there's a whiskey in this dawn. Mushering and a do to my da. Wait for you, daddy-o, wait for you, daddy-o, there's a whiskey in the jar. Mushering and a do to my da. Wait for you, daddy-o, wait for you, daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Hey!
I don't know if they're clapping for the song or if they're excited because there's whiskey in the jar.
I wish.
And by the way, what's in your jar there, Patty?
It's water that Mike very kindly went and got to me. Yeah. So it tastes like water, I don't know.
Just watered down.
Yeah. You know, sometimes we crack jokes between songs, and sometimes, you know, this crowd, you're not sure. Kind of joke to crack. Well, these guys, they're so sick and tired. They go, oh, God, he's going to tell that one again. Anyway, Paddy was in a bar in Toronto, in Canada, of all places. You thought I was going to say Dublin, didn't you? So he's there in the bar, and the barman comes up and asks the same question you were going to ask me. Hey, you're Irish. He goes, yes, I am. He goes, what are you doing here? He says, well, I was in Dublin one day. I ordered a pint of Guinness. And the barman came up and he put this mat down on the bar, and it said, drink Canada dry. So here I am. See, not one cuss word. Brad, put that in your notes. I didn't cuss. There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The wind blew up, her bow dipped down. A blow, my bully boys, blow. Ha! Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tongue is done, we'll take our leave and go. We'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Ha! Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing's done, we'll take our leave and go. Da 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 da. had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side, harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Ha! Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing's done, we'll take our leave and go. No line's been cut, no whale's been freed. The captain's mind was not of greed, and he belonged to the wellerman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Ha! Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing's done, we'll take our leave and go. Ha! For 40 days or even more, the line might slacken tight once more. Well, ships were lost, there were only 4, but still that whale she goes. Ha! Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing's done, we'll take our leave and go. But I've heard the fight's still on, the line's not cut, the whale's not gone. The wellerman made his regular call to encourage the captain, crew and all. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing's done, we'll take our leave and go. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing's done, we'll take our leave and go. Thank you. That song comes from a movie called The Fisherman's Friend, which I highly recommend you go watch. It's about Cornish fishermen who sing while they're fishing. And but there's a little story woven in there. They get this another improbable story, and they're not even Irish; they're Cornish. This chap's visiting Cornwall, and he likes them, so as a prank, he said, "We're going to sign you guys on a record deal." He was some prominent record guy from London, and they were like, "Wow!" So they're telling everybody, "Hey, this guy's signed us on a record," and he was a lark. He was not telling the truth. Well. Somebody got wind of their singing and heard the recording, and then they actually ditched him and actually went on and made it. And then the leader of the ship had a love story with the girl that actually helped them. She was also a record producer, and she liked them, and so she took them under her wing and made them famous. And the other guy got shit on. You get that, Brad?
Is that a
In your
Gaelic word?
notes?
That's a Gaelic word.
It's a Gaelic word, shite. That's what we say, it's pride. So this next song it's called Come Out You Black and Tan. So first thing I should preface this by saying is if you're ever in Ireland, especially the south, whatever you do not order a black and tan. Because I can't guarantee what will happen to you or your safety. Black and tans were during the 20s, so after the War of Independence, when the dust had settled in the 20s and 30s, a lot of the Irish left the Dublin area and went down south because they were tired of the oppression the English were putting on them, charging them taxes on lands they'd never been taxed on. So this guy, the protagonist in here, is written, I should first of all preface it by saying it was written by Dominic Behan, who is the brother of Brendan Behan, who is a very famous playwright. He did The Borstal Boy, The Queer Fellow, very famous guy. So his brother wrote this song, and it was about his dad. His dad was living in working class Dublin, and this is news to me because I do some research on the songs, and I thought, wow, I didn't know that. So there's a lot of pro-British Catholics and Protestants living in working class Dublin. I thought it was predominantly Catholic, and they were definitely not pro-British, but there were some that were. So Stephen Behan, he was next door neighbors to some of these pro-Brits, so when he came home drunk, he'd have a go at them, be egging them on and provoking them. So that's the song's all about. But it also mentions 1916, I've already covered that earlier in the Foggy Dew, where the leaders of our 16 were executed. They mention that in the song. And it's basically a rebel song. So, and what's a rebel song? In boy, it must have been in the 50s and 60s, the English said no more singing in pubs. In Ireland, could you imagine that? You know, and so the Irish, they didn't take kindly to that. So they would sing these rebel songs, and which stories were woven into them. So they were still getting the message out there through song. And so, without further ado, we'll get into this. We really like this song. We have fun doing it.
No,
My temper or my tempo?
that's part of the deal.
I get carried away sometimes. I play the song at warp speed, and these guys going, for crying out loud, slow down. I was born on a Dublin street where the royal drums do beats, and the loving English feet did walk all over us. And every single night when my dad would come home tight, he'd invite the neighbors out with this chorus. Come out, you black and tan, come on and fight me like a man. Sure you wife till you won medals down in Flanders. Till how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. Come let us hear you tell how you slandered great Parnell, when you thought him well and truly persecuted. Where are the sneers and jeers that you loudly let us hear, when our leaders of 16 were executed? Come out, you black and tan, come on and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. Tell us how you slew them old Arabs 2 by 2. Like Zulu, they had spears and bow and arrows. How bravely you faced one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened them damn natives to their marrow. Come out, you black and tan, come on and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. The time is coming fast, I think this day is near. The Shonen traitor, he will run before us. And if there be a need, then our kids will say Godspeed, with a verse or two of singing this fine chorus. Come out, you black and tan, come on and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. From the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. Thank you. If you're from the north of Ireland, I apologize profusely. No, I don't. Thank you. You're very appreciative today, and we couldn't do it without you guys, so thank you for being here. All right. So, come out, you black and tan. This dovetails nicely into the next song. So, for years I've heard this song, I've played it, and ignorant to the fact that it had nothing to do with what I thought it was about. It's called Natives, and I thought it was Irish natives. And there's, you know, during the song, they're talking about persecuted. They're talking about voices, you know, crying in the dark. There's a lot of references to being oppressed, which the Irish were. In fact, speaking of that, David Sarkeesian over there on your left is Armenian, and Don is Native American, and I'm Irish. So the original name of the band was The Persecuted, and we didn't think that was very fun, was it? So came up with Celtic Alchemy and said, it kind of sounds like The Persecuted. But this song is basically, it's giving permission to oppress or to fight oppression. Don't stand for it. And so, singing this song for years, then I was doing something at a school, you know, discussing the songs and the history of the song. And I'm reading about this, and Christy Moore is a very famous singer in Ireland who is a political activist, and a lot of his songs are politically driven. specifically towards the English invading Ireland, unnecessarily. And he found this song with the North American Songwriting Exchange. And so this song is about North Americans, or not North Americans, about American Indians. So now it puts the song into context. When I hear more of the lyrics, you know, missionaries and pioneers, soldiers in disguise, I'm thinking, I don't remember that in Ireland. Definitely in America that happened, and so there's a lot of references to how the Indians, American Indians, were oppressed by Americans. And so here's the song. For all of our languages, we can communicate. For all of our native tongues, we're all natives here. Sons of their fathers dream the same dream. The sound of forbidden words becomes a scream. Voices in anger, victims of history, plundered and set aside, grown fat on swallowed pride. With promises of paradise and gifts of beads and knives, missionaries and pioneers are soldiers in disguise, saviors and conquerors, they make us wait. The fishers of men, they wave their truth like bait. With a touch of a stranger's hand, innocence turns to shame. The truth that dwelt within now sleeps out in the rain. For all of our languages, we can communicate. For all of our native tongues, we're all natives here. The scars of the past are slow to disappear. The cries of the dead are always in our ear. Only the very safe can talk about wrong or right of those who are forced to choose. Some will choose to fight. For all of our languages, we can communicate. A lot of truth to that last line. Oh, look, here's a fun one. I won't burst into tears during this one. Stepping Out Mary. What do you say about this? Well, it's about an Irish dad. He loves his daughter. He wants her to marry well. And unfortunately, it's an Englishman that is courting her, and he's not real happy with that. So he's trying to set her up and with the Englishman, and she is actually madly in love with this soldier, and that's who her chosen bow is. And, well, things go terribly wrong. It's another song with a dead body.
Everybody dies.
Actually, I think there's 2 dead bodies in this one.
It reminds me of a Led Zeppelin song.
Should we maybe intro it with a Led Zeppelin song?
Yeah, I mean, don't they kind of go together?
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Do I know the lyrics?
Well,
What's
see,
the song?
if
Well, you
don't
play it and
sing
I'll see if I'll hum it.
There's lyrics?
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you don't know it, they do.
Okay, I'll let them
It's a
sing it.
sing-along. It's a
Yeah,
sing-along.
sing along, come on. There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying her stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for.
Everybody knows this part.
Ooh, and she's buying her stairway to heaven. A 1, 2, a 1, 2. The village of Kilgory, there's a maiden young and fair. Her eyes they shone like diamonds, she's got long and golden hair. A bantryman came riding up to her father's gate, mounted on a milk-white stallion, he came at the stroke of 8. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, stepping out, Mary, if you can. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, show your legs to the countryman. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, stepping out, Mary, if you can. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, show your legs to the countryman. I've come to wed your daughter, Mary of the golden hair. I have gold and I have silver, I have lands beyond compare. I'll buy her silk and stockings and a gold ring for her hand. I will build for her a mansion, she'll have servants to command. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, stepping out, Mary, if you can. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, show your legs to the countryman. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, stepping out, Mary, if you can. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, show your legs to the countryman. Kind sir, I love a soldier, I have pledged to him my hand. I don't want your gold nor silver, I don't want your wealth nor land. Mary's father spoke up sharply, you will do as you are told. You'll marry on next Sunday and you'll wear his ring of gold. In the village near Kilgory, there's a deep stream running by. They found Mary there at midnight. She drowned with her soldier boy. In the cottage, you hear music. You can hear her father say, stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter. Sunday is your wedding day. Stepping out, 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 Mary, if you can. Stepping out, 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 Mary, if you can. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, stepping out, Mary, if you can. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, show your legs to the countryman. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, stepping out, Mary, if you can. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, show your legs to the countryman. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, stepping out, Mary, if you can. Stepping out, Mary, my fine daughter, show your legs to the countryman. Thank you. If you see me furtively looking around for something, that I'm blind, so I'm looking for a bottle. I just thought, in case you think I'm just mad, What's he doing? What's he doing down there?
You know, he's blind, but he can always find the bar. All he says is the bar that way? We say, yeah, and he just...
It's just Irish instinct. I mean, you grow up in a bar in Ireland. You know, it's called a public house, a pub, and it basically is a public house. So after church, you know, all the kids pack down the pub, and you know, after 8 o'clock, then kids got to get out and have music. But yeah, it's a great culture experience if you go to Ireland after church and see all the families gathering there. It's a grand time. Highly recommend you visit Ireland too. Stick down south though, and go to the west coast is where I like to go. County Connemara, Galway, Clifton. Anyway, I think what I did when I was putting this together, we got Star of the County Down. So that's an interesting song. I put 3 Irish songs together here. It shows you how the music has evolved, but I'm jumping ahead of myself. Star of the County Down is it was originally written for fishermen. So County Down is obviously in the north of Ireland, and it's also happens to be the burial place of St. Patrick. It's called Down Patrick is the name of the little place where he was buried. And so there's a fishing village there with Arglass and Portavoyna and Kilkeen, and the reference to that is that the men would go out fishing, and they needed a rhythm to pull in the fishing nets. So this song was sung, but it was done at a lot slower pace, and it's done rhythmically, so it helped the fishermen bring in the fishing nets. Well, as it progressed and fishing wasn't such a big deal, they started playing it in pubs, and people were dancing to it, and so the tempo was picked up dramatically, and that's the version that we're going to do today. Star of the County Down. Oh, is this a Freebird thing?
Isn't it Freebird?
Brad, where's Brad? He's still taking notes. You haven't shouted out Freebird yet. There he go. I knew he'd do it. So, anybody that's been in a band, Mike's in a band. You can't count how many times you're playing, and people go Freebird, you know, crying out loud, and then. We also get a lot of people coming up and say, hey, do you know any, like, Britney Spears or, you know, which means, I guess you're not enjoying what we're playing. So if they ask me about Taylor Swift, I have to say I like Taylor Swift because my daughter likes Taylor Swift, and I actually have a lot of respect for her. She's a great musician, great lyricist, and she's made a lot of money on her music, not on perfumes and clothing lines. It's all on her music. So I think she's a fine gal, a lot of respect for her. But anyway, I'm drifting off the subject here, aren't I? If you ask me a Taylor Swift song, I don't know any, but... oh, yes, I do. Shake It Off. My daughter's always singing Shake It Off. There. See, I know a Britney Spears song. So we're doing Freebird, or are we doing...
Yeah, Freebird.
There you go. If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? 'Cause I must be traveling on now, 'cause there's too many places I gotta see. But if I stay here with you, girl, things could never be the same. 'Cause I'm as free as a bird now, and this bird you cannot change, and this bird you cannot change. last July. From the Boring Green came the sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her two bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf, sure I shook myself, but to see I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town. An old maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met at the county down. As she onward sped, sure I scratched my head and I looked with a feeling rare. And I says I to a passerby, who's the maid with the nut brown hair? Well, he smiled at me and he says he, that's a gem of Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McGann from the banks of the Banshee, the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town. An old maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met at the county down. The harvest fair shall be surely there. I'll be dressed in my Sunday clothes. Shoes shine bright on my hat cocked right for a smile from my nut brown rose. No pipe I'll smoke, no horse I'll yoke till my plow turns rust-colored brown. And a smiling bride by my own fireside sits the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town. An old maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met at the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town. An old maid I've seen like the brown Colleen.
You always get stuck here.
Sister star of the county down.
Patty Myers. The man with the lyrics and the lungs.
Thank you. Where's that Guinness? So there's this joke about these four Irish golfers. It's a little bit rude, and hope you can deal with it. So they they love to play golf, and the wives don't. And so, especially the golf's fine. You know, it's about 5 hours to do 18 holes, but then they go to the 19th hole afterwards, the pub, and then that goes on and on and on. So the wives said they got together and they said, "All right, I'm going to put a stop to this." So they said, "All right, lads, no more golf." And they were like, "What? No more golf?" But no golf. Jeez, what are we going to do? So anyway, this went on for a couple of months, and they finally just got together. They said, "Look, this is ridiculous. We've got to play golf, lads. How are we going to do this?" And he said, "Well, we have to bribe the wife. You know, there's no other way you can get around this." And he says, "All right, okay, we'll bribe the wife, and then we'll meet here Sunday, 9 o'clock, right? 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, let's go." 9 o'clock, all four of them will show up, and they're like, "Oh, that's interesting. So what do you have to do?" He says, "Well, I had to buy her a new car." He goes, "What? To play around?" "Oh, yeah, to buy her a new car." I go, "Geez, what'd you do?" He goes, "I had to send the wife and the mother-in-law on a cruise." "Whoa, geez, what about you?" He said, "Mine wanted to go to a spa with her three sisters. I had to pay for the three sisters to go for a spa for 3 days." "What about you?" The fourth guy goes, "It didn't cost me a thing." He goes, "What do you mean it didn't cost you a thing?" So I woke up in the morning, tapped her on the shoulder, and I said, "Golf course or intercourse?" And she said, "Don't forget your sweater." That wasn't too bad. So this next three songs, it's just, again, I was going on this earlier, it's how the next two songs, Star of the County Down was the first one. That's a traditional Irish song. It's, it's revolved around the burial place of St. Patrick. It's improbable. The guy, the guy singing the song is actually dreaming about it. He says, I'm sitting by the own fireside with my own bride. He's imagining this beautiful Colleen that he's met in Banbridge Town with the bare feet and the dark hair, but it was all made up in his mind. So that's a typical sort of Irish song. So from there, that's what's been done through the years. And then as time has gone on, I mean, we're in 2025 now, so these songs are from the 60s. So the young Irish people coming through, young Irish musicians are saying, God, we can't be singing Whiskey in the Jar for the rest of our lives. So this band, I highly recommend the High Kings. They do some absolutely phenomenal songs. And this is one that they wrote. It's their song. It's not somebody from the 60s folk revival. It's called Irish Pub. I like the title, and we like the song.
We like the pubs.
Well, the thing is, during the course of the song, we would jest with audience members in pubs. We'd say, okay, get a sheet of paper, and there's going to be a test at the end of the song to how many actual towns were mentioned during this song. So, and then the winner gets to buy us around. Isn't that great?
Sometimes we have a tie.
Yeah. That did happen one time.
That does happen.
Yeah, we had to drink, well, not only the 2 beers apiece and then the shot of whiskey that went with it. The second half of that gig was...
I don't
I don't remember. Okay. Here's a song called The Irish Pub. Oh, well, you walk into a city street, you could be in Peru. You hear a distant calling and you know it's meant for you. You stop what you were doing, you join the merry mob, and before you know just where you are, you're in an Irish pub. They've got one in Honolulu, they've got one in Moscow too. 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job. Wherever you go around the world, you'll find an Irish pub. Now the design is fairly simple and it usually works the same. You got Razor Horton scoring in the Ireland-England game, and you know you're in an Irish pub the minute you're in the door. For a couple of lads with baldrins will be mothering Christy Moore. You've got one in Honolulu, you've got one in Moscow too. 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job. Wherever you go around the world, you'll find an Irish pub. Now the owner is Norwegian and the manager comes from Cork, and the lad that's holding up the bar says only Egypt's work. He was born and bred in Bolton and his mammy's from Kildare, and he's gonna make his fortune soon and move to County Clare. They've got one in Honolulu, they've got one in Moscow too. 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job. Wherever you go around the world, you'll find an Irish pub. Now it's time for me to go, I have to catch me train. So I'll leave you sitting at the bar and face the wind and rain. And I'll have that pint you'll owe me if you've not gone on the dry, when we meet next week in Frankfurt in the fields of Athenry. They've got one in Honolulu, they've got one in Moscow too. 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job. Wherever you go around the world, you'll find an Irish pub. They've got one in Honolulu, they've got one in Moscow too. 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job. Wherever you go around the world, you'll find an Irish pub. Wherever you go around the world, you'll find an Irish pub. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so how many towns have mentioned? Brad, you got the paper and pencil. 8. All right, we'll go with 8. I guess Bolton is, that's not where the pubs were, Bolton is where the owner was from. Now I'm quibbling. Right, what do we got next? So that was the Star of the County Down was a traditional Irish song. Then that one was by the High Kings. They've been around probably since, just before, the late 90s, 2000. And then just lately, and this is my babysitter, was the one that said, "Hey, Patty, why aren't you doing Hozier?" I go, "Who?" I thought, isn't that a basketball team, the Hoziers or something, the Hoosiers? So I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." He said, "No, Hozier, he's a famous Irish kid. During the pandemic, he was locked up and he wrote a bunch of songs. He got an album and he's very famous." And I said, "I'm Irish, I never heard of him." So this is what the contemporary Irish kids are doing now. It'll sound a little different than what we've been doing all afternoon. It can't be said I'm an early bird. It's 10 o'clock before I say a word. Baby, I can never tell. How do you sleep so well? You keep telling me to live right. Go to bed before the daylight. Then you wake up for the sunrise. You know you don't gotta pretend. Baby, now and then you just gotta wake up, dark as late, smelling like a bonfire lost in the haze. If you're drunk on life, babe, I think that's great. But while in this world, I think I'll take my whiskey neat, my coffee black in my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. I'll take my whiskey neat, my coffee black in my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. I aim low, I aim true, and the ground's where I go. I work late where I'm free from the phone, but the job gets done and you worry some, I know. But who wants to live forever, babe? You treat your mouth like it's a heaven's gate, the rest of you like you're the TSA. Baby, don't get me wrong, I wish I'd go along. You know you're bright as a morning, soft as a rain, pretty as a vine, sweet as a grape. You're stuck in a barrel, maybe I'll wait until that day. I think I'll take my whiskey neat, my coffee black in my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. I'll take my whiskey neat, my coffee black in my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. I'll take my whiskey neat, my coffee black in my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. I'll take my whiskey neat, my coffee black in my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. You're too sweet for me. Has anybody out there actually heard that song? Well, I feel old. I haven't heard it. Brad, have
I
you
got
heard that
news
song?
for you, Patty.
You are old. I didn't think I'd...
We're the same age. That's why I could tease him about
Yeah, we're both going to be turning the big 6-0. You know, the Irish, they like to exaggerate a little bit. We're actually going to be, what, 50?
it. Right, yeah.
I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. They won't talk to me after this. So, does that say home boys home? It's a sea shanty. Now, who doesn't love a sea shanty? And then how are we doing for time? I don't know if we're boring the pants off these guys.
They have to go to another class, is that it?
No, I don't.
You did know that all this information, you're going to have a test on it. They didn't tell you, oh, you have to, yeah, you're going to be tested. Just kidding.
I'm trying to think if there's a story behind this. Well, there is. It's a young lad. He goes out to sea with his captain, and he comes ashore and he meets a girl. And then they have a tryst. It's kind of a nice word. They have a tryst. What is a tryst? And he leaves her in a bit of a state. And then she's now going to educate young women to watch out for sailor boys. It's kind of in a nutshell. Oh, who wouldn't be a sailor lad a-sailing on the main to gain the goodwill of the captain's good name? He came ashore one evening for to be, and that was the beginning of me own true love and me. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in the old country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree are all a-growing greener in the old country. Well, I asked her for a candle for to light me way to bed, and likewise for a handkerchief to tie around me head. She tended to my needs like a good maid ought to do. So then I says to her, now will you slip in with me too? And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in the old country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree are all a-growing greener in the old country. Well, she slipped into bed, making no alarm, thinking a young sailor lad could do to her no harm. Well, I hugged her and I kissed her the whole night long, so she wished the shore might have been 7 years long. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in the old country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree are all a-growing greener in the old country. Thank you, David Sarkeesian. Well, early next morning the sailor lad arose, and into Mary's apron threw a handful of gold, saying, take this, my dear, for the mischief that I've done. For tonight I fear I've left you with a daughter or a son. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in the old country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree are all a-growing greener in the old country. Welcome all of you fair maidens, a warning take from me. Never let a sailor lad an inch above your knee, for I trusted one and he beguiled me. He left me with a pair of twins to dangle from me knee. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in the old country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree are all a-growing greener in the old country. And it's home, boys, home. Home I'd like to be, home for a while in the old country, where the oak and the ash and the bonny rowan tree all a-growing greener in the old country. Thank you. It's here somewhere. There it is, to the left. Should I tell the joke about the Guinness factory?
Sure, why not? Yeah, yeah,
Is that okay?
yeah.
I always check with these guys because you never know.
Well, because he's
Well, this-
Don Priest.
It's a brand new audience, so
It is, we don't know.
yeah, we don't know them. They
Well-
don't know. They don't know you.
Well, there's that one guy back there we keep talking about. We know him.
He left.
And we know his delightful mother too, Claudia. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
He ran out.
So,
He ran out on his mom.
they left?
He ran out on his mom.
You're kidding? He left,
Oh,
his,
there
he
he
left his
is.
mum here?
No.
Ah, jeez, Brad. Wait till I see you. So, Mrs. Murphy, she's married to Paddy Murphy, and he's off. He works at the Guinness factory, and he gives him a kiss goodbye. He's off to the Guinness factory. She's at home having a cup of tea, and then there's a knock at the door. And she goes and answers it, and one of the lads from the Guinness factory's there, and he goes, "Hello, Mrs. Murphy. How you doing?" She goes, "I'm doing fine." She goes, "Could I come in?" And she goes, "Yeah, come on in. You want a cup of tea?" He goes, "No, I don't want a cup of tea. You want to sit down?" She goes, "Why do I need to sit down?" She goes, "Well, I got a bit of bad news." And he goes, "What is it?" He says, "Well, Paddy died." And she goes, "What? I just kissed him goodbye. He just left for work." He says, "Yeah, a bit of an accident. He fell in the Guinness vat." Oh, God. What? Did he go quickly? I'm afraid he didn't. He got out 3 times to take a piss. Sorry about that.
True story.
Here's a song getting back to the Irish history that we're supposed to be talking about. Well, Guinness factories in Ireland, I think that's fair game. This is called The Wearing of the Green, and it's, the Irish, they always like to put the best foot forward. They want to paint, everything's fine. So The Wearing of the Green, when you hear it, it's this jaunty song, you go, this is a lot of fun. Till you listen to the lyrics. They're killing men and women for the wearing of the green. It's like, well, that's not fun. So, and this is actually what happened. The English, in addition to stopping the Irish from singing in pubs and stopping them from speaking Gaelic, if I sound bitter, I am, and then, sacrilege of all sacrileges, they would not allow them to wear green. So, St. Patrick's Day, no wearing of the green. So, there's a song about wearing of the green. Of course, trying to remember how it goes. The wearing of the green. The wearing of the green, oh, the wearing of the green. The hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. Oh, the wearing of the green, oh, the wearing of the green. The hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. With upper hand he took me by the hand to tell his house. He said, how's poor old Ireland and how does she stand? It's the most distressful country that has ever been. For the hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. The wearing of the green, oh, the wearing of the green. The hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. Oh, the wearing of the green, oh, the wearing of the green. The hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. Paddy dear, well did you hear the news that's going round? The green is forbid to wear on Irish county's ground. No more St. Patrick's Day, well, colour can't be seen. But there's a cruel law against the wearing of the green. Oh, the wearing of the green, oh, the wearing of the green. The hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. The wearing of the green, oh, the wearing of the green. The hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. So if the colour we must wear be England's cruel red, then let it us remind us of the blood that Irishmen shed. Take that shamrock from your hat and throw it on the sod, but never fear 'twill take root there, though underfoot 'tis trod. The wearing of the green, oh, the wearing of the green. The hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. The wearing of the green, oh, the wearing of the green. The hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. It's such a jaunty little number, then till you listen to it, and you wonder why. Well, good. Now you get a break from me droning on, and now you're going to get a real thrill. David's going to play some traditional Irish music. The Full Rigged Ship, another ship song,
Yes.
and the New Rigged Ship. There'll be two, a jig and a reel, back to back. Thank you, David Sarkeesian.
So we got about 10, 15 minutes left. Is it okay to take some questions from the audience?
Well, they know our age.
Do we have any questions? All right, well, let's continue to hear some music then.
Thank you. Well, this is not answering a question because the question wasn't answered, but my Irish roots, just to let you know, is my mum is born in Tubbergreggan, which is just south of Dublin. She was born on an Irish horse farm there. There's 13 of them born to Mary and Patrick Ball was Ball was her parents, and so this is, my mum was born in 28 and she was the youngest. And she was raised by her elder sister because she was the youngest. Her mother died early, And 5 of the children died before they were 1. They died of diphtheria. That was kind of prevalent in Ireland in 20s and before. And she moved to England with her sister, Auntie May, my Auntie May. She was 20 years older, so it was kind of like a mother. And they became nurses. And then another sister joined them over there, Auntie Kitty. She became a nurse. And then my other auntie, Auntie Etty, she became a nurse. They all lived into their 90s. So yeah, she passed away last year, unfortunately. And she's fit as a fiddle, too. She just tripped over, banged her head. It's kind of simple as that, over a piece of grass. It was crazy. So we're going to go back there in July. I've got a wedding to go to. My niece is getting married. And the whole family's going to go over to Tubbagregan, to this, what's left of the farm. I don't think it's a farm anymore, but her parents' graves are there, so we're going to put her ashes there. So that's going to be fun. We're going to make a big deal of it. We'll be partying, drinking, and having a grand time. Or as I say in Ireland, we'll be having some good crack. You gotta be careful about saying in this country, you might get into trouble. But it's spelled C-R-A-I-C, crack. You'll see that. In fact, outside pubs, they'll say, come in for some good crack. And you're like, my God, they're just advertising they're selling crack. It means fun. It means have a good time.
Black Velvet.
Black Velvet Band. Oh, yeah. This is another very famous old Irish song. It's got a great chorus, if you want to join in. It's about a young man that falls in love with a girl, and then she just totally takes advantage of him. Slips a pocket into his watch, and a watch into his pocket. That would be a trick.
I mean, everybody dies.
Yeah, and then, well, he gets shipped off to Australia, because that's what they used to do in Ireland. The bad people were shipped to Australia, Band Evans land. So, Black Velvet Band. In a neat little town they call Belfast, an apprentice trade I was bound, and many an hour sweet happiness I've spent in that meek little town. A sad misfortune came over me, which caused me to stray from the land, far away from me friends and relations, betrayed by that black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, they called her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. I took a stroll down Broadway, meaning for not long to stay. But who should I spy but this pretty fair maid come strolling along the highway? She was both fair and handsome, her neck it was just like a swan, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, they called her the queen of the land, and her hair it hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. Before the judge and the jury, next morning I has to appear. And the judge, he says to me, young man, your case it is proven quite clear. We give you 7 years penal servitude to be spent far away from the land, far away from your friends and relations, betrayed by that black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds, they called her the queen of the land, and the that you know is betrayed by that black velvet band. So come all you jolly young fellas, a pretty calling. She'll feed you with strong drinks, me lad, till you are unable to stand. And the very next thing that you'll know is you've landed in Bandeven's land. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. They called her the queen of the land. Far away from me friends and relations, betrayed by that black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. They called her the queen of the land. Far away from me friends and relations, betrayed by that black velvet band. Thank you.
So you guys know all the songs.
Pardon?
This couple back here, you guys know all the songs. They're singing every song with us.
Well, they must be Irish.
Yeah.
On Monday, everybody's going to be Irish. So we've got a couple of songs left here.
Let's do Sally.
Yeah, Don wants to do Sally McLennan. So this is a song. So we're also, it's an Irish, well, his parents are Irish, but he was born in Liverpool. McGregor, he's the lead singer of the Pogues. The Pogues was an Irish punk band, and so they were very popular in the 20s. No, the 20s, 2020. And then he passed away. He had rotten teeth. I think he did a lot of drugs and stuff, and he got these new teeth, and he went on to RTE, which is Radio Television. It's an Irish TV channel, and they were interviewing him, and he goes, "Look!" And he's got his new teeth. He had all the rotten ones taken out, and he was really proud of these teeth, and then he died. He got his new teeth and then died. I know.
Irish.
Shane McGowan was his name.
But he died smiling.
He did. He had a nice smile. They in the coffin, that's what they had, the toothpicks. Got his teeth. You know. Boy, look at the teeth on that lad. Jeez.
Hey, good money for those.
I've got a really bad joke. It's about someone that died. And the guy's, Paddy, he pops into a pub, he's going to have a pint and go to the wake. So he goes to the wake, widows by the back door. In Ireland, the body's laid out in the kitchen, so everybody goes through the back door. And they take the back door off, it's wooden, so people can clog on it, do the Irish dancing. Anyway, he sees the widow there, goes, "Hey, widow, how you doing? Just came by to pay my condolences." He says, "Could I ask you a question?" She goes, "Yeah, what's that?" She goes, "Do you have Wi-Fi?" And she goes, "What? Do you have Wi-Fi?" "Yeah, I got Wi-Fi. Why? Could I have the password?" She goes, "What kind of a question is that, you fat ball bastard?" And he says, "Is that all in lowercase?" Ah, jeez. I didn't write that one. Come on, Don, play, shut me up. Well, Jimmy played harmonica in the pub where I was born. Played it from the night line to the peaceful early morn. He soothed the soul of psychos and the men who had the horn. They all looked very happy in the morning. Well, Jimmy didn't like his place in this world of ours, where the elephant man brought someone next when he had too many powers. So sad to see the grieving of the people he was leaving. He took the train to God knows in the morning. We walked into the station in the rain.
In the rain.
We kissed him as we put him on the train.
On the train.
And we sang him a song of times long gone, though we knew that we'd be seeing him again. Sad to say, I must be on my way, so buy me beer and whiskey, 'cause I'm going far away. Like to think I'll be returning when I can to the greatest little boozer and to Sally McLennan. The years they passed, the times have changed, I grew to be a man. I learned to learn the virtues of sweet Sally McLennan. I took the jeers and drank the beers and crawled back home at dawn, and ended up a barman in the morning. Oh, I wet the pump, I took the hump, I watered whiskey down. I talked of whores and horses to the men who drank the brown. I heard them say that Jimmy's making money far away. Some people left for heaven without warning. How we walked him to the station in the rain.
In the rain.
We kissed him as we put him on the train.
On the train.
And we sang him a song of times long gone, though we knew that we'd be seeing him again. Sad to say, I must be on my way, so buy me beer and whiskey, 'cause I'm going far away. Like to think I'll be returning when I can to the greatest little boozer and to Sally McLennan. We walked him to the station in the rain.
In the rain.
We kissed him as we put him on the train.
On the train.
And we sang him a song of times long gone, though we knew that we'd be seeing him again. Sad to say, I must be on my way, so buy me beer and whiskey, 'cause I'm going far away. Like to think I'll be returning when I can to the greatest little boozer and to Sally McLennan. To the greatest little boozer and to Sally McLennan. Okay, thank you. All right, we'll do one more and then we'll get out of here, because I know this space is needed for somebody else. We're Celtic Alchemy. We're open to come by your house and play if you want. We play for potatoes and Brussels sprouts.
No, I don't like Brussels sprouts.
You don't like Brussels sprouts? You haven't had them prepared right. You got to have them prepared right.
yeah.
There's a special way to prepare them. You'll love them.
Like-
David Sarkeesian over here on the left, as already introduced. Don Priest over here. I have to go to confession after I leave here for all the bad language.
And Patty Myers, who brings this Irish music to the Valley and all the history.
Thanks very much for having us. This next song is, we normally do this after about the third set, and it's a sobriety check. So we actually, if there's cops around, we say, don't worry, we've got the perfect sobriety check, and this is it. Ho, ho, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh, rare bog, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. There once was a bog that had a hole, a rare hole, a rattling hole with a hole in the bog down of the valley, oh, ho, 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 the rattling bog down in the valley, oh, rare bog, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. In that hole there was a tree, a rare tree, a rattling tree with a tree in the hole in the bog down of the valley, oh, ho, ho, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh, rare bog, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. On that tree there was a branch, a rare branch, a rattling branch with a branch on the tree and the tree in the hole in the bog down of the valley, oh, ho, ho, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh, rare bog, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. On that branch there was a limb, a rare limb, a rattling limb with a limb on the branch and the branch on the tree and the tree in the hole in the bog down of the valley, oh, ho, ho, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh, rare bog, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. On that limb there was a nest, a rare nest, a rattling nest with a nest on the limb and the limb on the branch and the branch on the tree and the tree in the hole in the bog down of the valley, oh, ho, ho, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh, rare bog, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. In that nest there was a bird, a rare bird, a rattling bird with a bird in the nest and the nest on the limb and the limb on the branch and the branch on the tree and the tree in the hole in the bog down of the valley, oh, ho, ho, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh, rare bog, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. In that bird there was an egg, a rare egg, a rattling egg with an egg in the bird and the nest on the limb and the limb on the branch and the branch on the tree and the tree in the hole down of the valley, oh, ho, ho, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh, rare bog, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. In that egg there was a chick, a rare chick, a rattlin' chick with a chick in the egg, and the egg in the bird, and the bird in the nest, and the nest on the limb, and the limb on the branch, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in the hole. The bug down at the valley, oh, the rattling bug. Bug down in the valley, where for the rattling bug. Bug down in the valley, where for the rattling bug. The bug down in the valley, Did we pass our sobriety check? Thank you very, very much. Hope you have a fantastic St. Patrick's Day. Céad Míle Fáilte, Gaelic for 1,000 welcomes and 1,000 thank yous.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.